Welcome to Genesis Streams. If you feel worn out, stretched thin, or just tired in a way that sleep doesn't fix, this hour is for you. Maybe your body is exhausted. Maybe your mind is noisy and crowded. Maybe your heart is tired of hoping, tired of trying, tired of pretending you're okay. Whether you've walked with Jesus for years, or you're not even sure what you believe, you are welcome here. Listen to these words from the prophet Isaiah. He gives power to the weak. He increases the strength of him who has no might. Even the youths faint and get weary, and the young men utterly fall. But those who wait for Yahweh will renew their strength. They will mount up with wings like eagles. They will run and not be weary. They will walk and not faint. Isaiah chapter 40, verses 29 to 31. Take a slow breath in and gently let it out. For the next hour, we'll walk with this promise that God does not despise your weakness, and that real strength doesn't start from you. It starts from Him. He gives power to the weak. He increases the strength of him who has no might. God does not say, "Come back when you're stronger." He doesn't wait for you to pull yourself together before He is willing to help you. He gives power to the weak. He increases strength exactly where you feel like you have no might left. Maybe you've hit that point where the usual tricks don't work anymore. The quick bursts of motivation, the "I'll just push through," the "I can handle this on my own." God is not surprised by your limits. He already knew where your strength would run out, and right there, He offers His. You can quietly say, "God, you see how tired I am. I don't have much strength left. Give power to my weakness. Increase strength where I have none." Let these next next moments of music be a place where you stop pretending to be stronger than you are. Even the youths faint and get weary, and the young men utterly fall. In other words, even people who should be strong, who look strong, who have always been the reliable ones, they get tired too. You may be the one that others lean on, the one who holds things together, the one who doesn't break down. But God is telling you, even the best human strength has a limit. You were never meant to carry everything in your own power. There is no shame in reaching the end of your energy. Sometimes what you call failure is simply your body and soul saying, I can't do this alone anymore. That's not the end of your story. It's an invitation to a different kind of strength. You can admit to God, I thought I could handle this. I tried to be strong enough, but I am weary. I am falling. I need strength that doesn't come from me. Let the shepherd meet you honestly, right where your strength gives out. waiting for Yahweh is not passive, empty, or pointless. It's not scrolling, numbing, or distracting yourself while you hope life magically improves. Waiting for God is turning your attention toward Him, even when you feel nothing, even when He seems silent, even when you're tired of waiting. It's the decision to say, my hope is not in my plan, my timing, my willpower, or other people alone. My hope is in you. Waiting for Yahweh is holding your questions in one hand and His character in the other, and choosing to lean on His character when your questions don't have answers yet. Right now, you don't have to feel spiritual to wait on Him. You can simply sit here and say, God, I choose to wait for you. I don't see everything clearly. I don't feel strong. But I turn my attention and my hope toward you. Let this space be your act of waiting. Not doing, not fixing, just staying with Him. will renew their strength. The word renew is not just get a little bit back. It's the idea of exchanging weakness for new strength, not recycled adrenaline, not another surge of pressure, not one more cup of coffee to squeeze out a few extra hours. God offers a different quality of strength, strength that doesn't depend on how well you're performing, strength that doesn't collapse every time plans change, strength that can carry grief, disappointment, and unanswered questions and still keep walking. This strength doesn't mean you'll never feel tired again. It means there will be a quiet, steady power underneath your tiredness, holding you up when you thought you would fall. You can ask Him, Lord, I don't just want another burst of my own energy. I need your strength. Renew my strength with what comes from you, not from me. Let the music be like breathing in, receiving what you cannot generate alone. They will mount up with wings like eagles. Eagles don't escape storms by flapping harder. They rise by using the very winds that others hide from. When God talks about wings like eagles, He is not promising a life without storms. He is promising that even in the storm, He can lift you in ways you cannot lift yourself. Sometimes that looks like fresh courage in the middle of the same situation. Sometimes it looks like seeing things from a higher perspective, not trapped only in the problem right in front of you. Sometimes it simply means that the storm no longer defines you. His presence does. You can pray quietly. God, I feel grounded by my circumstances. Lift my heart above the storm. Give me wings, not to run away, but to see with your perspective. As the music continues, imagine letting Him carry you a little higher than your worry. are seasons when life really does feel like a run. Deadlines, caring for people who depend on you, raising children, juggling work and studies, handling responsibilities that don't slow down just because you're tired. God is not promising that your life will always be slow, but He is promising strength for the pace He Himself has called you to. The running that He gives is not frantic, panicked, fueled by fear of failure. It is purposeful, focused, carried by His grace. Where you feel overwhelmed by all that you have to do, you can whisper, "Lord, you see my responsibilities. You know what today holds. Give me strength to run where you are leading without being crushed by it." Let these next minutes be a place where you hand Him your calendar, your to-do list, your expectations. Most of life is not running, it is walking. Ordinary days, simple tasks, quiet faithfulness that no one else sees. Sometimes, the hardest thing is not a crisis. It is the long, slow stretch of just keeping going. God promises strength not only for big moments, but for the daily walk. Getting up again, choosing kindness again, praying again, trusting again, even when you feel nothing spectacular. You may feel like you are barely putting one foot in front of the other. But if God is the one holding you up, that is enough. You can quietly pray, Lord, give me grace to walk and not faint. In the small things, in the boring things, in the long stretches where nothing seems to change, keep me going in your strength. Let the steady this promise: renewed strength, wings like eagles, running without weariness, walking without fainting, is connected to one invitation: those who wait for Yahweh. Waiting for God can feel slow, frustrating, even painful. But in the waiting, something is happening inside you. Your roots go deeper. Your trust grows steadier. Your definition of strength shifts from "I can handle everything" to "God is with me in everything." You don't have to fix your whole life tonight. You can start by giving Him today's weariness, today's questions, today's burdens. You can say simply, "God, I wait for you in this one area." Name it quietly in your heart. I choose to trust that as I wait for you, you will renew my strength. Let this next stretch of music be your waiting. Honest, imperfect, but real. As this hour comes to an end, remember the promise we've been resting in. He gives power to the weak. He increases the strength of him who has no might. Even the youths faint and get weary, and the young men utterly fall. But those who wait for Yahweh will renew their strength. They will mount up with wings like eagles. They will run and not be weary. They will walk and not faint. Bible Hub +1. Your weakness is not a disappointment to God. It is the very place He has promised to meet you with His strength. May He lift you when you feel like you cannot rise, steady you when you feel like you cannot run, and hold you when you feel like you cannot even walk. As you leave this time, you don't leave His presence. He goes with you into the emails, the meetings, the dishes, the caregiving, the quiet moments, and the noise. May you find again and again that those who wait for Yahweh really do renew their strength. Thank you for spending this time with Genesis Streams. Rest in His strength. You are seen.